Just when we thought that we could do what we have repeatedly done and used to. It suddenly dawned on us that things are never going to be the same again. We are in an uncharted territory, a very unfamiliar feeling of uncertainties. Then, the gleeful and cheerful voices deep inside, a telltale sign of hope and silver lining, telling us to try again despite the odds. Move on and out from the previous pitfall, adhering to the city's battle cry, Abante Talisay! Let us pay respect to our country, city, and the Almighty Father.
Talisay, abante talisay, tumong sa kalipay. Kaagi o kasaysayan mo, handumong kanunay. Kayanin mo, suong alin nyo, sa talisay ng dakong darmo. O ganta ka sa imong baybayon, naluwas mga sakwaan. Ang Diyos nun mong katawan, isang kateri sa pananigdan. Ang pinagkat sa kanunay, sa bukmang tiunay. Inasan mo, inahang sa talan, sa tanamig dilihitong na. Daghang tubig sa langit tigasa, timaan sa grasya. Ang Diyos nun mong katawan, isang kateri sa pananigdan. Ang pinagkat sa kanunay, sa bukmang tiunay. Tagusay, abante kanunay, sa Diyos kagisaknay. Higugmang ka o mahalong, hangtod sa kamatayon. Talisay!
Hands reaching out with no one to hold. You've been abandoned with no place to go. Wounded and wanting, such desperate times. Cold bitter tears are filling your eyes. Get a glimpse of Jesus, for He is right there with you. He knows just what you need. When life gets broken, when you're in despair, He'll carry your burden when it's too much to bear. He's down in the valley where He'll give you strength. There is nothing you have lost that He can't replace. He'll help you start all over again when life gets broken. You hope God would heal it, but the storm raged and raged, and it's hard to imagine how you made it through today. Weeks turns to years, time's passing you by, but you're still holding on to the house and the wise. So get a glimpse of Jesus, for He is right there with you. He knows just what you need. When life gets broken, when you're in despair, He'll carry your burden when it's too much to bear. It's down in the valley where He'll give you strength. There is nothing you have lost that He can't replace. He'll help you start all over again when life gets broken. Healing waters heal our troubled soul. Jesus, sweet Jesus, will cleanse and makes us whole. When life gets broken, when you're in despair, He'll carry your burdens when it's too much to bear. It's down in the valley where He'll give you strength. There is nothing you have lost that He can't replace. He'll help you start all over again. He'll help you start all over again. He'll help you start all over again when life gets broken.
Amidst the continuing global health crisis, Deped restructured its model by formulating its Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, LCP. This is to ensure that learning never stops while keeping in mind the health, safety, and well-being of all learners, parents, and Deped employees. It also recognizes that while school-based face-to-face learning is not yet possible, the department must adopt alternative modes of learning delivery to reach all learners regardless of who they are and where they came from. In preparation for school year 2020-2021, Deped will provide self-learning modules, SLMs, radio-based instruction, RBI, mixed with other online means with the alternative learning delivery modalities to be offered for various types of learners across the city. So, this morning, we will be showcasing Deped Talisay City Division's preparedness in all these platforms that will surely put your minds at ease. Keeping upbeat to achieve the department goals while staying grounded with the Deped core values. All stakeholders and partners converge for a noble cause. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. To roll out the red carpet of hospitality in a welcome address is our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Faustino Enturajo.
My respect to our Deped Regional Director, Salustiano T. Jimenez, Assistant Regional Director, Cristito A. Ico, Honorable Congressman Eduardo Argollas Sr., our City Mayor, Honorable Gerald Anthony Samsam Golias Jr., our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Evangel M. Luminarias, Dr. Maria Lourdes L. Ipong, our CID Chief, Ms. Rosario Joko, our SGOD Chief, Division Supervisors, Public Schools District Supervisors, elementary and secondary school heads, teachers, and to all the schools and division personnel, good morning. It is my pleasure and great pride to welcome everyone to our kickoff ceremony for school year 2020-2021. This activity would like to inform the public that October 5, 2020 will mark the history of our department to begin our classes in the last quarter of the year. We're proud to say that we are part of the history. No pandemic can stop us to give our students the right education that they deserve to prepare for their future. We in Deped Talisay City Division would like to ensure that the commencement of our opening of classes will become successful with the concerted efforts by the internal and external stakeholders. Our preparations like making and reproduction of modules, dry run and simulation boost our confidence that we can still provide our students with a quality education despite our present situation. The procurement of risograph machines, printers for all our teachers, laptop for all our school heads, equipment and bond papers through our school board greatly helped our preparation. Our division will continue to assure the community that we will stand for our DepEd Region 7 slogan, Sa 7, una ang bata permi. Once again, welcome and Abante Talisay.
School reopening will not necessarily mean face-to-face learning in the classroom. So coming right up is a 3-minute video showcasing how Talisay City Division adheres to the marching order of our secretary and lay on the table the preparations and initiatives done by the entire people working behind these tasks. Let us all watch this.
Alam na ba mo? Mas ang dami. Ngayon ka mo.
As Walt Disney once said, and I quote, "Courage is the main quality of leadership. In my own opinion, no matter where it is exercised. Usually it implies some risk, especially in new undertakings." In a strangely new undertaking that we are in, Talisay City Division is lucky enough to have a leader who is an epitome of great service and courage, an action and risk taker, and has passion and dedication to our department. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deped Talisay City Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Evangel M. Luminarias.
Our very good Congressman of the 1st District of Cebu Province, Honorable Eddie Gulyas, our most beloved Mayor of Talisay City, the young Honorable Gerald Anthony Samsam Gulyas, and all other city officials, our DepEd Region 7 Regional Director Salustiano T. Jimenez, Sir Saul, with his Assistant Regional Director Cristito Eco, Sir Tito, our very own Talisay City Division officials, all our Management Committee members, CID and SGOD staff, PSDSS, school heads, and all teaching and non-teaching personnel, my warmest greetings. It is with full confidence that today, 4 days before October 5, I can say DepEd Talisay City Division is ready to open classes. The whole division, as one family, has boldly accepted all the challenges that this pandemic has brought upon us, affecting the teaching-learning process of the usual classroom instruction setting. All of us never cowered, never retreated, never surrendered, but instead, every day, each one becomes more and more courageous to act upon the tall orders of the higher offices, the central and regional offices. Everyone has been faithful in the respective functions, working daily their duties and responsibilities to the best of their ability with a light heart amid this pandemic. They believed that this pandemic will only be defeated with a focused vision, coordinated open minds, bright ideas, and quality suggestions. All of these are collaborated and put together to concrete actions and implementations. Thus, all of us here in Talisay City Division and all schools can say we are just excited come October 5. As we start the school year 2020-2021 this Monday, I know everyone is certain that all action plans, dry runs, simulation activities which our schools have conducted will be put into final execution smoothly and successfully. Of course, with the able leadership and management of our very diligent school heads or principals. We have high hopes that everything will be executed as expected. Modules and all other modalities and platforms will be delivered and retrieved as planned. If possible, we will pray that there would be less hassles, less problems, less challenges that we will encounter next week, and learning would be fully attained by our children. If there are any challenges that comes along the process, I trust each one as one family shares the burden of solving, resolving, or coming up with the best solutions for the best interest of our clienteles, our children. I believe, as each one of us believes, that if we are all in this new normal of delivering our goods to our learners, I am just sure, and there's no doubt, that all of us will come out together as winners and as one Deped family. May I take this opportunity to heartily express my gratitude to all our Deped friends who are with us through thick and thin, calm, high tide or low tide. Daghan kayong salamat sa inyong gugma o walay puwas nga pag-amuma sa mga kabataan dinhi sa syudad sa Talisay. Pinaagi sa inyong mga kalain-lain nga mga tabang aron lamang mapadayon ang ilang pagkat-on o ang ilang pag-edukar. Sa atong pinanggang Congressman Eddie Gulyas, Mayor Samsam Gulyas, ug sa tanang opisyales sa syudad ug sa barangay, ug sa tanang private individuals and organizations. To RD Sal and ARD Tito, daghan kaayong salamat sa inyong mapinadayunon nga paggiya o pagtabang sa among dibisyon. Ug sa tanan mga kauban sa buhat dinhi sa Talisay City Division, ang atong pag-ampo nga mapanalanginan ta sa Ginoo sa atong mga paningkamot ug hinaut-on ta nga kining tanan dunay maayong bunga. Ug sa tanan natong mga maestra, school heads, sa tanan natong personnel, may we put our best foot forward as we start our classes on Monday. Together, we shout, Abante Talisay City! Kaysa 7, una ang bata, siyempre. Daghan salamat.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy a breather from Haklupan National High School, Mr. Preslo Labajo.
Nausab na gyud ang panahon, bisa na sa edukasyon. Tungod sa pandemya na bag-o na ang paagi sa eskwela. Wala na face-to-face module ang giilis, online o radio-based. Dunay television, pwede sub cellphone, sa messenger o Facebook page. Bisag di na limang magtudlo karon nga panahon, gibuhat ang tanan, di lang napasagdan ang imong pagtuon. Busa gihangyo og ikinahanglan ko ang kooperasyon mo. Basahon ang tanan, sabton og ansira ang modules nga naani mo. Kung maglisod ka, ayaw ka balakan, naa si mama o papa. Kung di maagwanta, andang og tagana. Imong maestro ug maestra. Bisag na usab ang panahon, apan padayon lang gihapon. Ang importante nga safety ka kung sa balay nag-eskwela. Antos-antos sa ta mientras aduna pa ang virus nga corona. Kung kini mawagtang ma-okay ang tanan, mabalik na sa eskwelahan. Bisag di lalim ang magtudlo karon nga panahon. Ibuhat ang tanan, dili mapasagdan ang imong pagtuon. Busa gihangyo og gikinahanglan ko ang kooperasyon mo. Basahon ang tanan sa tunog ansiran ang modules nga naani mo. Kung maglisod ka, ayaw ka pala ka, naa si mama o papa. Kung di maagwanta, andam og tagana. Imong maestro, maestra. Kalampusan mo, mao'y kalipay ko kung sa mga ginikanan mo. Buhaton tanan, amo kang tabangan, magkabot ang damgo mo. Kung maglisod ka, ayaw ka pala ka, na si mama o papa. Kung di maagwanta, andang og tagana. Imong maestro, maestra. Si Mapog Sergyod ang kuntaka, aron magiyahan kanila.
As educators of the new generation, we must learn to dance with today's new normal ways of living. With the recent situation that we are in, the delivery of quality basic education can still be achieved with the innovations and creativity that Deped is preparing. As they say, learning doesn't only happen in the four corners of the classroom. In fact, taking lessons outside provides experiential opportunities and real-life circumstances, allowing pupils and students to respond positively to challenges. As classes formally starts, Deped Talisay City Division will provide division-made self-learning modules to erase apprehensions of parents who might not have access to technology and those without access to internet. Coming up is a video presentation to show us more about the modular modality.
Welcome to Borromeo Brothers Elementary School, a public school in Talisay City Division, achieving excellence together. Building a community committed to lifelong learning in a caring environment. The school has 40 teaching personnel under the leadership of Mrs. Lolita Lanias Lim. Quality education, continuous improvement, continuous education for all children amidst pandemic. Our mission.
Sa pagsikat ng araw, may dalang bagong pananaw. Naririnig mo bang busina? Palapit na ang pagbabago. Sama na, halika na. Go education. May bagong paraan, mas madaming paaralan. Si teacher mas suportado, estudyante mas natututo. Education. Trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Wow! Go education. Sa pagsikat ng araw, may dalang bagong pananaw. Naririnig mo bang busina? Palapit na ang pagbabago. Sama na, halika na. Go Education, may bagong paraan. Mas madaming paaralan. Si teacher mas suportado. Estudyante mas natututo. Education, trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Whoa, go Education. Sa pagsikat ng araw, may dalang bagong pananaw. Naririnig mo bang busina? Palapit na ang pagbabago. Sama na, halika na. Go Education, may bagong paraan. Mas madaming paaralan. Si teacher mas suportado. Estudyante mas natututo. Education, trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Whoa, go Education. Sakay na't makiisa, sabay na hindi kaya kung wala ka. Lumalakas na ang busina, malapit na ang pagbabago. Sama na, halika na. Go Education, may bagong paraan. Go Education, paaralan. Go Education, mas suportado. Go Education, mas natututo. Go Education, trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Whoa, go Education. Go Education. Go Education.
Magandang araw mga bata! Kumusta kayong lahat? Nakikita ko ang kasiyahan at sigla sa inyong mga mukha. Ngayong araw na ito ay mas lalo pa kayong masisiyahan dahil matututo na naman tayo ng panibagong aralin. Ngunit bago natin talakayin ang ating aralin sa araw na ito, ay inaanayahan ko muna kayong lahat na tumayo at sumabay sa akin. Meron akong inihandang isang awit at sayaw para sa ating lahat. Halika kayo at sabayan niyo ako.
Bago, sama na, halika na. Go Education, may bagong paraan. Go Education, paaralan. Go Education, mas suportado. Go Education, mas natututo. Go Education, trabaho tagumpay ang pupuntahan. Whoa, go Education. Go Education. Go Education.
The flagship high school of the city believes that education cannot wait. Hence, we did not, could not, and will not remain static in this time of pandemic.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Talisay City National High School. I am Mr. Jeffrey Simplero, the school principal. Today, we're going to present to you our distance learning circulation and retrieval.
Here's our story. As the contagion began to creep into the tail end of the school year 2019-2020, doubts and worries about the next school year started to boggle the mind of the Department of Education, as this has never happened before. Lo and behold, the LCP was conceptualized, which breathed the needed assuring and guiding air and diffused the many confusions about the provision of the right to quality basic education, which ought to be unimpeded. Yet the new normal situation dictates desperate but necessary measures in order to hurdle the challenges, and Talisay City National High School rose up to the challenges and complied with what had to be done. Had it not for the pandemic, the teachers, learners, parents, stakeholders would have scoured the country searching for the best spot to beat the heat of the summer sun. But not this May. Instead, all the cooperating hands of the unselfish and devoted teachers and master teachers under the auspices of Mr. Jeffrey Simplero
Mayong hapon! Hi ma'am, kami na yung mga teachers sa Talisay City National High School. Kaya maghatag yung budyo sa inyong anak. Ano sa may gato sa inyong anak? Grade 10 sir. Grade 10.
scoured every page, even down to the minutest of details of the sample self-learning module, shown in a series of the module-making webinars, just for each to come up with his and her own based on the milks. All for the learners, they say, and just as the great Garrison Keillor once said, nothing you do for children is ever wasted. Staying up late just to make the module complete was no easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was just the beginning of a bigger task at hand. June provided the real test to the module makers. Ready and available modules are transformed into different formats such as ebook, FB format, and video lectures. Certain teachers were assigned to each format and complied with submission of the expected output. Hence, FB chat groups are made to accommodate learners who have access to the internet and study the lessons with the other modalities offered.
If you work with computers, you've likely heard terms like RAM, hard drive, and processor mentioned by tech support or others who are more interested in what goes on inside of a computer's case. If you've always wondered what the various components of your computer are for, but have never really had the time to look into it, then this video is just for you. While each one of these components is complex enough to spend a lifetime learning about, I'm going to give a very broad and general overview. A typical desktop computer comes down to these 7 essential parts: case, power supply, motherboard, CPU, RAM, hard drive, and graphics cards. These are the fundamental parts of any desktop computer. It may seem daunting at first, so let's separate these into 2 categories: simple ones and the more complex ones. For starters, let's look at the case. The case is nothing more than a big hunk of plastic that houses everything else. Some of them have more or less physical space, some of them have different parts where you can put screws in or this or that, but at the end of the day, all the case really does is provide a nice enclosed system for everything else. Next up, we have the power supply. This part of your computer, almost always located on the bottom, is the part that plugs into the wall and provides all of the other parts with the electricity needed to do their thing. You can think of it as an extremely advanced AC adapter. The last of the simple parts to mention is the motherboard. The motherboard is a wide and flat circuit board that all of the other components plug into. It's the part that lets all of these components send electrical currents, composing data, between each other. While not particularly expensive, the motherboard is arguably the most important component because without it, you'd have nowhere to put anything else. So that's it for the simple components. Now let's move on to the more complex parts, the ones that deal with data. The four main components to keep in mind here are CPU, RAM, hard drive, and graphics card. Now first things first, I'm going to establish some terminology. Keep in mind that CPU is also known as the Central Processing Unit, or processor. These terms all refer to the same thing. They're completely interchangeable. RAM stands for Random Access Memory and is often referred to as just memory. A hard drive is often referred to as a disk drive or storage. And a graphics card is also known as a GPU or Graphics Processing Unit. For this explanation, I'll be using the terms CPU, RAM, hard drive, and graphics card. So let's start with the CPU. The CPU is where your computer does things. It isn't really capable of storing very much data at all, but it's very good at doing things with data. Quickly reading it, arranging it, doing the type of quick and massive calculations needed to run your programs. This is where most of your programs are essentially run from. It's often referred to as the brain of the computer. I personally don't like this description because really your entire computer is just a brain. It's just the center part of your computer's brain. Basically everything that happens in your computer goes through your CPU at some point. Now let's talk about RAM and hard drive at the same time because they have a very unique relationship, which is probably why people often confuse the two. Your hard drive is where all of your data is stored. When your computer tells you you're running low on space, it's because your hard drive is almost full. All of the data that makes up your videos, pictures, documents, project files, or the 3D worlds and models that make up a game are all stored here. While hard drives can store lots of data, they're relatively bad at accessing that data quickly. Everything is accessed through a tiny little wire here, and because most hard drives are made up of spinning disks, your hard drive isn't going to be able to constantly give your CPU the information it needs to run certain programs. That's where RAM comes in. RAM is another form of storage. It stores the exact same kind of data as your hard drive, but RAM sacrifices storage space for nearly instant accessibility. Unlike your hard drive, which sends all of its data through a tiny little thin wire, your RAM is arranged in these long, thin sticks that insert into your motherboard. Think about a storage unit. If you have a massive warehouse with only a thin doorway, it's going to be difficult to get in, find what you need, and get out if it's kind of spread all over the place. You'll have to go through a tiny door. But if you have a long, wide storage shed that's got a big, massive garage composing an entire side of it, you won't be able to store as much, but things are significantly easier to get to. Typically, if your computer has 1,000 gigabytes of storage space in your hard drive, it's likely got about 16 gigabytes worth of RAM. Here's where you put the stuff you own but you aren't currently using, and this smaller one is where you put the stuff that you are using and need to be able to get in and out of quickly. When you run a program or a project file, your CPU identifies what parts of data are needed for that program to run, it pulls them from your hard drive, and then it stores them in your RAM sticks for quick accessibility. This is why when you start a new level of a game, for instance, it has to load. Anytime you see loading, it's loading the data that composes that level from your bulky hard drive into your RAM. From a user's perspective, just follow this rule of thumb. RAM allows you to run intensive programs, while disk space allows you to have more of these programs installed. It also allows you to have more of the data they're referencing, whether it be pictures, videos, or mods. And finally, we get to the graphics card. With all of the calculations going on in your computer to turn a bunch of numbers that basically come down to ones and zeros into a constantly updated three-dimensional world, the final and most important and arguably most difficult step is to display that on your monitor. It's possible for your motherboard to do this alone, but it's not going to look good, and it's certainly not going to be able to do much. Your graphics card is essentially an entire computer in and of itself, dedicated to the sole task of figuring out what pixels need to light up on your screen, in what color, and at what time. If you were playing a game that had a very busy and high texture world with lots of models and different angles and colors, your CPU is the thing that creates that world. It knows where the stuff is, and it does so with data that's been stored in your RAM, which was loaded out of your hard drive, but it's your graphics card that figures out what it's supposed to look like based on where you're standing in the world. Without getting too off topic here, if you're somebody who likes math, I highly recommend you look up fast inverse square root, which is directly related to how three-dimensional worlds calculate perspectives. So that pretty much sums it up. There are other components worth mentioning, such as cooling systems or internal wireless cards, but really those are extras. So to summarize what I talked about so far, the case stores everything in a physical box, the power supply gives electricity to what needs it, the motherboard is the body that everything plugs into, the CPU does everything, RAM stores data that is needed for quick access, hard drives store everything that you have installed and the data that goes along with those programs, while the graphics card figures out how it's all supposed to look on your monitor. Well, thank you very much for watching.
Hi, welcome to my class. I'm Dr. Bobby Cabangon and I am your teacher for oral communication. In our class, we will be using an FB page. Please check the link below.
Oh, so this is our oral module. Okay, alright, I see. Alright, so our teacher just sent us this module that we're supposed to review and have an answer, so let's go open it up. So it takes us to the table of contents. Of course, for every module you have to start with the beginning. So go back to the nature of elements. Alright, so you're just gonna read stuff here, some things to note about. Something I did not notice was the blue text. The blue text will show you even more context of what the definition is. Let's hear you. For example, that's verbal. This is non-verbal. Alright, next we go down. There's also included files of audio files. So
the process of communication starts with the speaker generating the idea first. Next, the speaker encodes an idea or converts the idea.
As you can see, it all works. Alright. There's also this picture chart below. You can click the links here to see if
Hello everyone and welcome to Learn with Naomi. In today's lesson video, we are going to talk about the first English learning competency for grade 9 students. So if you are a grade 9 student, stay tuned, have your pen and paper ready, and learn with me today. Teacher Naomi.
Kung dunaray usa kapamilya, ang angayan natong itawag kay elemento, apan kung daghan na nga pamilya, ang angayan natong itawag kung paunamigo. Mga elemento dunay kinaiya nga matawag nato kini nga iyaha kung pauna ka na siya amigo. Kung dunaray usa kapamilya, ang angayan natong itawag kay elemento, apan kung daghan na nga pamilya, ang angayan natong itawag kung panamigo.
Ideal in studying phenomenon which must contend with the problems of measurement. What are the characteristics of quantitative research? 1. It is reliable. 2. Objective. 3. It uses statistics. 4. We test theories or hypotheses. Then the sample is the representative of population.
It's the censor. Editorial. Okay. Unsay answer na? The opinion contains the opinion. Sakto na to ganina. That's editorial. Uy, ako ra mong gilibog. Right? Okay, ang sunod. Ano daw to sa number 3? Okay, what's the answer? Ari ko na makitaan ang games and athletes. Okay, sports. Laoy. Bright kaayo, very good.
And then, sige, 5 rata photo. The blank is the title of the main story of the newspaper. Ano yung bold, no? Pinadako siya kaayo. Unsa na siya? Headline.
This is usually used in homes and sometimes in school. This is called domestic sewing machine. Ito, nakasabot ka?
Oo, ma.
Alita, mag-spelling ta. One. Guess what? Machine. 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 Mana.
Na.
Number 2. Lock.
Parents were encouraged to guide their kids in learning the lessons and communicate with a teacher advisor should there be questions. Retrieval followed the stringent and careful process of returning the modules to the pickup points where they were disinfected before learners' work were inspected. Talisay City National High School is a believer that complaints, issues, and concerns raised is an opportunity afforded by any stakeholders, may they be the learners, the parents, or anyone in the surrounding community, to the school to further improve its services. Thus, the feedback collection scheme is established. They came in forms of comments and suggestions posted on the official Facebook page of the school and that of the physical feedback collection box. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how the cookie crumbles. Talisay City National High School's ways of providing safe, quality basic education to all the citizens of this revered nation. Sulong edukalidad, handa isip, handa bukas. Education cannot wait, and so can't we. Rest assured that Talisay City National High School is 100% ready. Our heartfelt gratitude extends to our young and supportive Mayor, Honorable Gerald Anthony Samsam Gulyas, our division's ever-ready mother and father of all seasons and including this contagion, Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Evangelo Menarias and Dr. Faustino Torajo, CID and SGOD Chiefs Dr. Maria Lourdes Ipong and Miss Rosario Joko, and the rest of the division personnel. We cannot thank you enough for your assistance. Abante Talisay! Abante Talisay City National High School! Unnoticed. Nothing brings more joy and gratitude than knowing that there are good people out there willing to support our endeavors and unconditionally rendered move to a better direction with the undying support. Here to give his message of support, let us welcome our City Mayor, Honorable Gerald Anthony Samsam Gulyas.
To all our teachers, to all our students, and to the rest of our DepEd family, magpasalamat ko kaninyong tanan for your continued support of this Aksyon Agad administration. It is a difficult time, I must admit. It's a difficult time for everything. For sports, it's a difficult time for governance, it's a difficult time in general. One really affected part, one very big part that is affected is education. Ma-private, ma-public, we are all affected. But it shouldn't stop us from finding ways for our students to learn. Here in the city of Talisay, I urge everyone to continue to learn as we face a new normal and new teaching methodologies for at least the rest of the year. I urge all our students to do what is necessary, especially sa tanan ipanghatag sa mga maestra diha kaninyo. But the burden of education, the work now comes to our DepEd family and all our teachers. Ako ning giingon sa una ug akong giingon karon. Rest assured, always rest assured of the full support of the Talisay City Government when it comes to everything, when it comes to new teaching methodologies, when it comes to everything you need for a new normal. Rest assured of the support of the Talisay City Government. With that support, I also urge all our teachers to go the extra mile. You are basically like the second parent of all our students. Go the extra mile in this difficult time. go the extra mile to reach the students and make them learn during this difficult time. I think the key to the first semester or the first few months under new teaching methodologies, under COVID, the key is for our teachers and our DepEd family to go the extra mile. DepEd will go the extra mile, and rest assured that the Talisay City Government will also go the extra mile in full support sa tanan ninyong mga programa sa DepEd Talisay City Division. Ma'am Vance, luminarias, to all our school heads, to all the DepEd family, rest assured again of the full support of the Talisay City Government under an Aksyon Agad administration. Kaninyong tanan, salamat.
Mayor Gullias, thank you so much for always supporting all DepEd endeavors.
Variety of learning delivery modalities have been designed to ensure that learners will have access to quality basic education, even if it entails a flexible remote learning. Each modality is customized and tailored fit according to the needs of the learners and the immediate locality. This time, to give further details of the modular radio-based instruction is a video presentation from Haclopan National High School. Let's all watch this. The world sleeps. The mind wanders. The learning continues in Haclopan. Haclopan is a barangay of Talisay City, Cebu, bounded by Camp 4 on the northwest, Tapul on the southwest, Maghawa, Lagtang, and Candulawan on the southeast, and by the city of Cebu on the northeast. It is an area of 1,404 hectares in 35 sitios. Haclopan is one of the mountain barangays in the city, which rests approximately 10 kilometers away from the center. In this green and mountainous terrain, you can find Haclopan National High School. The Level 4 School-Based Management Champion, Division Level Best Brigada 2019 Best Implementer, Regional Level 4th Placer Brigada Escuela 2019 Best Implementer, and the recipient of the cleanest campus in Talisay City, to name a few. Welcome to Haclopan National High School. The 80 steps entrance is a metaphorical representation of the fortitude, persistence, and allegiance of the students, teachers, and staff of the school. The open ground and the covered court that produced future leaders, athletes, performing artists, and the like. The classrooms, the principal's office, the library, the science laboratory, the computer rooms, the mini hotel, the receiving area, the electrical installation and maintenance laboratory. In our collective attempt to embrace the new normal, we have designed a room to have our self-learning resources and activity sheets printed. This also serves as a storage room for safekeeping. As a pioneering school in the division to embark on a radio-assisted instruction, a radio station booth is created. In addressing the new challenges of quality in basic education delivery, Haclopan National High School administration, faculty, and staff is all set to learning continuity amidst the recent global health crisis.
Learning must continue amidst the threat of this contagion.
Sulong edukalidad, handang isip, handa bukas. JNHS, are you ready?
We are ready!
Modular distance learning and radio-based instruction. Yes, we are ready to continue on learning the Haclopan kind of way. J. Juxtaposition plotting of different modalities planned, unpacked, mapped, and shared to the division management team and to our dear stakeholders. assigning teachers to partner with Purok leaders to take charge of each grouping, making sure of the delivery and retrieval of the number of modules in partnership with barangay personnel. C. Converging of the parents, barangay officials, and Purok leader partners for sharing the learning continuity plan of the school.
Mayong buntag kanatang tanan, napalayo lang ko kahit nagtanggal ko sa akong mask. Before ko magsugod sa hanay, sa tunog sa tuwang isulahan, magpasalamat ko na sa tanan sa atong makagagahon na nakita-kita tayo tanan na himso o wala yung mga sakit. Wala ka na ito kaning pandemic. Salamat kayo sa inyong pag-abot diri sa Aklupan, ang akong mga hinigugmang mga stakeholders, sa inyong mga tabang sa among mga tundo, sa among mga kabataan. Ang inyong mga project, naabot, ipabutang ko dito sa Transparency Board kay, para makita ninyo tanan kung sa hanay ang makita ninyo mga hinabang na sa atin. Kaning tanan, mapasalamaton ko sa inyong pag-ari o ang inyong presensya lamang di na good kabayaran. Kaya daghang kayong salamat sa tanan ninyong ginabang sa among school. Inaot unta nga magpadayon ang inyong suporta para sa kaugmaon kaning eskwelahan maski pa naata sa pandemya. Tanan, maayong hapon o biba sa inyong mga kumpanya mga taga-Ayala. Daghang salamat.
L. Learning materials will be printed, reproduced, delivered, and distributed by the assigned teachers to each of the agreed respective drop stations on an agreed schedule.
National High School. Good luck, good luck, good luck. God bless. Sige. Ayun, ganito kamadi yung aming dinadaanan. Kasami yung mga module. Kasali yung mga module. Oh.
U. Uniting the different modalities through blending the quality assured modules with a radio-based instruction format for the hard-to-reach learners.
Karong August na for magsugod ng datong klase. Mao ni ang ato ang module karon nga ipanghatag karong August 24 Monday na siya. Onya, ibalik na po din ako pagkasunod Monday na sa niya makahatag
Way delivery instruction habang nakikinig ang ating mga mag-aaral sa kanilang mga tahanan.
Aklupan National High School Radio Station, broadcasting live on air and online. Aklupan National High School Radio Station, answering our duties call, cause we care and love you all.
Talisay. Time check, it's now 8 o'clock in the wonderful morning of Monday. Welcome to the show. This is Teacher Andreline, broadcasting live, online, and on air from Haklupan National High School radio station. Our love, our home. Today is another edition of our Schooling Online and on air. Let me greet our dear parents and of course our students, especially the grade 7 students. My beloved grade 7 students, please be with me for the next 45 minutes of our discussion. I'll be your teacher in Music 7.
P. Periodic sensitivity for the time element of the accomplishment of the chosen self-learning kit and radio-based learning modality. A. Assuring the completeness of the learning materials upon returning the accomplished modules to the Dropbox centers. The respective subject teachers will then evaluate, record, and send feedback after the collected modules will be turned over by the assigned retriever. Note-taking in all the things that has gone right in all the areas that needs refinement as a result of the monitoring and evaluation for adjustments of the plan for continuous improvement.
Kung 4 akong asawa, para lang maghatag dito, mag-sampol-sampol ang sunod mga pera. Nonsense, di ba? Kaya nga, ang dry run ay isang practice kung paano gagawin ang aktual na klase.
Since time immemorial, it is believed that education is the most important tool and a powerful foundation that can bring most success in society today. Matter of fact, it is our passport for a better tomorrow, which can help us equip with the competencies that can contribute meaningfully in our lives. Today, we are so honored to have been given a little time by a young, competent leader whose friendly and charming demeanor reassures everyone in the department that we can all surpass these contemporary education hindrances. For his message, please help me welcome the man who steers the Deped Central Visayas wheel, Regional Director, Dr. Celestiano Jimenez.
Eric Thomas once said, and I quote, "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful." So my special greetings to the Superintendent of Talisay City Division, Dr. Evangel Luminarias, ESDS Faustino Turadio, CID and SDOD chiefs, supervisors, school heads, dear teachers, parents and guardians, learners, LGU officials, stakeholders, media, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good day to all. First, I would like to congratulate Talisay City Division on your final kick-off for the opening of classes come October 5, 2020. The concerted efforts you have shown today gives a sparkling light towards the zenith of success for the implementation of the modalities of learning for this special school year 2020-2021. It cannot be denied that we are bombarded with challenges. And oh yes, the gargantuan tasks within our laps. yet we keep on going for the love of service. I am more than proud with elation witnessing how you are able to hurdle the challenges brought about by this pandemic. It's obvious persistence and dedication are key. Here at Deped Central Visayas, we are sure about the directions we are taking. So with the Talisay City Division as part of the region, Talisay City is ready. Yes, this activity so yells, and this is characterized by feelings of confident certainty. And at this point in the preparation for the new normal, we cling on to the fact that unity still defines the success of our educational agenda. So, let us continue to forge partnerships and magnify collaboration and cooperation together and outsmart the threats that wish to cripple our children's learning. So to everyone, be assured that the Department of Education, headed by the motherly, indefatigable Secretary, our beloved Secretary Leonor Mamliling Magtulis Briones, is always on top priority, our safety and welfare. So to all the viewers out there, may we continue to trust in the Lord with all our hearts. Have faith that there will be better days ahead. So once again, congratulations, handang isip, handa bukas, sulong edukalidad, Abante Talisay. God bless everyone.
Let's have a breather, ladies and gentlemen. An intermission number from selected teachers of the Talisay City Division.
Talisay, atong ibay. Talisay, galing na diri inday. Syudad na mauswagon, katawan na mapinanggahon. Limpyo ang hapsay, malinaw ang tangunay, kalinti ang mga kabalaka, mag-uban mag-enjoy kita. Yes, somewhere in the south, there's a place for you and me. Our city. Mahabagat ang bahin sa Sugbo, at tunay syudad na welcome ka mo.
Kung gustong mag-relax and mag-unwind, there's a lot here that you can find.
Pwede mong i-enjoy ang among beaches, pahiyong sa katawhanan, beautiful places.
Ilawi ang among garbong inasal, sa kalamig imog yung balikan.
Unsa pa'y gipaabot mo, dali na sa dakbayan ko. Pinangga kong talisay, pagkahalandon mo kayod. Karunog sa kahangturan, ikaw akong ampingan. Our city.
Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the conclusion of our program. Finally, it's school time once again, and let us make learning interestingly fun and fresh with the use of the different learning modalities. A razzmatazz of module distribution and collection, accentuated with the online-related modalities and radio-based instruction as a manifesto of what Talisay City Division must offer. To do the ceremonial declaration of the school year 2020-2021 opening, please welcome once again Dr. Evangel Luminarias.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Schools Division Superintendent of Deped Talisay City Division, and in behalf of the Management Committee members, all Division Office personnel, district and school officials, teaching and non-teaching personnel, I have the honor and privilege of declaring school year 2020-2021 open.
Handa na ang Haglupan Elementary School para sa tuloy-tuloy na dekalidad na edukasyon?
Handa ako.
Handa ako.
Handa ako. Handa ako. Handa ako.
Kami! Handa kami! Handa kami!
Handa kami.
Handa na kami!
Handa ako.
Handa kami! Iyan sa Lagtang Elementary School! Ready na! Sulong edukasyon!